Yemen, just saying the name sounds like some ancient mystical chant. And you know what? It basically is. This place has history oozing out of its pores, folks. We're talking civilization so old they make the Roman Empire look like a bunch of toddlers playing dress-up. Imagine a land where frankincense and myrrh flowed like cheap beer at a college party. That's ancient Yemen for you. A crossroads of trade, culture, and probably some really epic camel races. Seriously, they were big on camels back then. We're about to dive headfirst into Yemen's historical swimming pool, but be warned, it's a deep one. You might want to grab a metaphorical snorkel for this. First up, the Sabaeans. These guys were like the Beyoncé of ancient Yemen. They ruled the place for centuries, built incredible palaces and temples, and even had their own writing system. Talk about overachievers. The Sabaeans were not just about grand structures, they were also master traders. Their strategic location along the incense route made them wealthy and influential. They traded frankincense and myrrh, which were highly prized in the ancient world. Their capital, Marib, was a bustling hub of activity. Imagine a city filled with merchants, artisans, and scholars, all contributing to a vibrant culture. The Sabaeans were also known for their advanced irrigation systems, which turned the arid land into fertile fields. Then you've got the Himyarites, who took over and kept the good times rolling. They were big into agriculture, which is a good thing because everyone's got to eat. The Himyarites continued the Sabaean tradition of building impressive structures and maintaining complex irrigation systems. They even built massive dams, which, let's be honest, is way more impressive than anything most of us have done today. These dams were engineering marvels, controlling the flow of water and ensuring that their crops thrived. The most famous of these dams was the Marib Dam, a colossal structure that stood as a testament to their engineering prowess. It was so well built that it remained in use for over 1,000 years. But all good things must come to an end, right? Eventually, the Himyarite kingdom faced challenges from within and without. Internal strife and external invasions began to take their toll. Eventually the Persians showed up, followed by the Ethiopians and then the Persians again. Each new wave of conquerors brought their own culture and influence, adding to the rich tapestry of Yemen's history. It was like a very confusing, very ancient game of Risk. The constant power struggles and shifting alliances made Yemen a fascinating, albeit tumultuous place. Despite the chaos, the legacy of these ancient civilizations lives on in the ruins and artifacts they left behind. Then, in the 7th century, everything changed. Yemen, a land with a rich tapestry of history, saw a monumental shift. Remember that new religion everyone was talking about? Islam? It wasn't just a passing trend, it was a transformative force. Yeah, that arrived in Yemen, and, spoiler alert, it was kind of a big deal. The arrival of Islam marked a significant turning point in Yemeni history. The Yemenis were like, okay, this whole Islam thing seems legit, and converted in droves. It wasn't just a religious shift, it was a cultural revolution. This led to a new era of rulers and empires, each with their own ideas about how things should be run. The landscape of power was constantly evolving because, let's face it, power struggles are as timeless as those little black dresses everyone keeps in the back of their closet. There were the Sulayhids, the Fatimids, the Ayyubids. Honestly, it's a lot of IDs to keep track of. Each dynasty brought its own flavor to the mix, contributing to the rich mosaic of Yemeni history. The point is, Yemen was a hotbed of activity, with everyone vying for control of this strategically important corner of the world. Its location made it a coveted prize for any ruler. Yemen's strategic position on the trade routes between the east and the west meant that controlling it was not just about power but also about wealth and influence. The rulers who managed to hold on to power in Yemen had to be shrewd, adaptable, and often ruthless. They left behind a legacy of architectural marvels and cultural achievements. Today, the echoes of those ancient power struggles can still be felt. Yemen's history is a testament to the resilience and enduring spirit of its people. Section 4. Colonization and Unification. Because every good story needs some unwanted guests. Yemen, a land of ancient civilizations and rich history, has always been a place of intrigue and allure. Its strategic location and cultural wealth made it a coveted prize for many empires throughout the centuries. Fast forward a few centuries and who should show up but our old pals, the Europeans. The 19th century saw the arrival of European powers, eager to expand their empires and control trade routes. The British and the Ottomans were particularly interested in Yemen, each with their own ambitions and strategies. This time it was the Ottomans and the British, both sniffing around for a piece of the Yemeni pie. The Ottomans, with their vast empire, sought to extend their influence in the Arabian Peninsula, while the British, with their naval prowess, aimed to secure their trade routes to India. The Ottomans grabbed the north, the British took the south, and Yemen was officially the newest member of the colonized by a European power club. This division created a lasting impact on the region, with the north and south developing distinct identities and political structures. Not exactly an achievement to brag about, but hey, it was a popular club back then. Colonization brought about significant changes, both positive and negative, influencing the social, economic, and political landscapes of Yemen. But you know what they say, if you don't like your rulers, just wait a century or two, and things will probably change. Over time, the people of Yemen grew weary of foreign rule and began to yearn for independence and self-determination. Disclaimer: I have no idea if anyone actually says that. The struggle for independence was long and arduous, marked by numerous uprisings and resistance movements against the colonial powers. Anyway, by the mid-20th century, both the Ottomans and the British had packed their bags and left, leaving behind a legacy of division and conflict. The departure of these colonial powers set the stage for a new chapter in Yemen's history, leaving North and South Yemen to finally get their acts together and become one unified country in 1990. The unification of Yemen was a monumental event, bringing together two regions with distinct histories and cultures. It was a moment of celebration, hope, and probably a fair amount of paperwork. The unification marked the beginning of a new era for Yemen, filled with challenges and opportunities as the country sought to build a cohesive national identity and navigate the complexities of modern statehood. Section 5, Yemen today still figuring things out. So, here we are in the 21st century, and Yemen is, well, it's complicated. Remember all those power struggles we talked about? Yeah, those didn't exactly disappear. The country has been plagued by conflict and instability, with different groups vying for control. It's a bit like a very intense game of musical chairs, but with much higher stakes, and sadly, the people of Yemen are the ones caught in the middle. Section 6. The future of Yemen hope springs eternal, or something like that. Despite all the challenges, there's always hope. The people of Yemen are known for their resilience, their generosity, and their love of their country. And maybe, just maybe, they'll find a way to overcome the obstacles and build a brighter future for themselves. Section 7, one last thing. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of Yemen's incredibly long and complicated history. We've laughed, we've learned, hopefully, and we've gained a new appreciation for this ancient land and its people. And if you ever find yourself in a trivia night and the topic is Yemen throughout the ages, you'll be ready to dominate. You're welcome.